Presenter Roger Johnson was back on BBC Breakfast on Monday, March 17, delivering the latest news headlines alongside Sally Nugent. BBC Breakfast took a dark turn during the latest instalment, as presenter Roger Johnson announced disturbing news. The much-loved show, hosted by Roger and Sally Nugent, returned to screens on Monday, March 17, as the presenters provided the latest news headlines from the UK and across the globe. But following an update on the political matters taking place in Westminster, Sally said, "And now Roger has news on a story that has just come into us in the last hour or so from Thailand." Roger replied, "Yes indeed, Sally, disturbing news as well. Officials in Thailand are telling us this morning that a British woman is missing from after a tour boat she was travelling on caught fire off the island of Koh Tao. The woman was among around 20 people on board the vessel yesterday at the time of the fire. The other passengers are understood to be rescued by other passing boats, but the 26-year-old who has been named locally as Alexandra Clark from South London remains unaccounted for." He added, "The Foreign Office says they are supporting her family." As well as Roger delivering the devastating news, the video clip of the boat in Thailand was shown on the screen. According to recent reports, Alexandra was the only passenger on board the Davy Jones locker who was reported missing at the time. A social media post reported by Sky News read, "The authorities therefore organised a search team for the missing person." After receiving the report of the fire, the Surat Thani Provincial Marine Office coordinated with private boats and volunteers to quickly help evacuate tourists and crew to another boat safely. Meanwhile, Captain Nathavan Sinpunfton, who works as the Deputy Director of the Thai Maritime Enforcement Command Centre of Surat Thani, told news outlets that the blaze started around 9 a.m. local time and an emergency call was received shortly after. He said, "The boat was carrying a group of tourists for a diving excursion from Koh Tao. It was between 5 and 6 nautical miles away from the island. A fire started in the engine room and spread through the boat rapidly. Timex Surat Thani coordinated with private vessels and volunteers to safely evacuate the tourists and crew members onto another boat. Meanwhile, another team of volunteers worked to control the fire. Preliminary reports indicate that the engine room, captain's cabin, and rear restroom were damaged. The exact cause of the fire remains under investigation."